Today on Clubhouse Gas, the difference between boys and girls. Like when I say something that sounds so innocent in my mind and then my wife doesn't speak to me for 3 days, that kind of difference. So what is the difference between boys and girls? Well, it's a tough question, and we sent field reporter Chris Mooneyham out to an ASA softball tournament to find out the answer. He talked with Reese Jacobs, who's a longtime Babe Ruth baseball official, but more importantly, a parent of both boys and girls.
You have coached both boys and girls, fast pitch, softball, and baseball. What's the biggest difference all around, in the dugout, on the field? What do you think is the biggest difference?
Well, I'll tell you that the girls just get more excited about the game. The guys seem to be a little more steady. You know, it's obviously they're into the game and so forth, but the girls, you'll get cheering, you'll get chants. They're just, for them, I find it's more of a social thing than it is with the boys. It's more of an athletic contest. And that's not to say that the girls aren't competitive and it's not an athletic contest, but you know, the girls, when the game's over for them. Yeah. They hop in the car, they don't think a thing about it. The boys, they'll fret about this, that, what could have been, that type of thing. The girls, it's like they have a great time while they're playing. They enjoy it. They play hard. But like I said, when the game's over, it's done. It's time to move on. So.
All right, clearly, Coach Reese, you didn't grow up playing fast-pitch softball. There's so many differences in teaching these young men and women how to play these games. Without the experience, how do you teach these women to get into the fast-pitch softball, the different nuances?
Well, it's hard. Probably the most fundamental difference between baseball and softball is the pitching. It's a very difficult skill to acquire. I have a lot of admiration for the girls that can pitch well because the baseball motion is more of a natural motion. Right. With the fast-pitch softball, the underhand, the way they do it, it's just phenomenal that they do what they can. It's just very hard for, especially for male coaches that haven't grown up playing the sport, to teach girls how to pitch. And that's why we rely on private instructors, girls that have played college ball, that type of thing, to work with the teams and help make our pitching more effective.
And then the difference in hitting between baseball and fast pitch.
Well, there are a lot of similarities. A lot of what we do in softball, because even in the older ages in softball, and you look at college, it's still on a 60-foot diamond, sure, not a 90-foot diamond like it is on baseball. So speed is essential. Bunting, you watch on TV, you see the College World Series, for instance, you see a lot of slap hitting. Right. Just what we do with the girls is, with some of the faster girls, just try and put a ball in play. With a 60-foot base, there's a lot of room for error there. So what we do is try to load the bases up, and then you get your kids up there that can hit. It's basically a game of get them on base, move them around. With the 60-foot bases, it's a little bit different strategy than what you find with baseball. One thing that I find, though, that I struggle with as a coach, and I've seen this a lot with girls, it just seems like the ability to track fly balls and catch fly balls is a skill that the girls seem to acquire a lot later in life than the boys do. I can take a 12-year-old boys team, for instance, fly ball hit to dead center, over the center fielder's head, for instance. The boys have a much easier time of tracking that ball and making that catch. And I'll guarantee you 9 times out of 10 on a softball team, unless you got a really, solid outfielder, they're not going to make that catch. And it seems to be maybe 1 to 2 years behind with the girls in terms of acquiring that skill. And we can't put our finger on it, can't explain it. We work a lot on it in practice and so forth. But that's probably the one noticeable fundamental difference that I do see.
Coach Reese, you've been coaching for 9 years. We talked about off camera, 5 years fast pitch. I'm sure you've got a lot of good stories. Give me one of your best.
Well, I'd have to say the best story was we were in a tournament over in North Cobb, and this was last summer, as a matter of fact. It's one of those typical summer July days, hot, 95 degrees. The girls fell into the loser's bracket pretty early. It's a double elimination tournament. Did a great job fighting their way out of the loser's bracket. I think they played 5 straight games, about hour, 15-minute games, just back to back to back, 95-degree heat. I mean, they were just worn out. But they did a great job, fought their way back to the championship game. But as you know, in a double elim, when you come out of the loser's bracket, you got to win too to take home the first place trophy. So I sent the girls all off to the concession stand, restroom. We're getting ready to get that game cranked up. Again, we had to win too at that point. It's still heat of the day. And they all come back and they're kind of looking at the ground and scratching their eyes. I said, girls, what's up, man? We need to get ready to play. And they're like, so one of them spoke up and said, Coach, we went over and looked at the trophies. And I said, yeah, so? And second place trophy's only about this much smaller than the first place trophy. And I said, what are you telling me? And they said, well, if it's okay with you, we'll just take our second place trophy and go home. And that's what we did. So I don't know that you'd ever find a boys team that would do that, but I had a lot of admiration for what they did. And what I basically told them was, it's your team. that's what you want to do and you're satisfied, I'm happy with the result, and that's what we did. We packed it up and went home, had a good dinner.
That's one thing we keep hearing about is character as far as these young ladies go. The character that you continually see with these young ladies out here at the park. It's just amazing how everyone says the same thing.
Oh, it is. And we do stress fundamentals of sportsmanship and so forth. But I find that a lot of times in the boys' games, you'll catch them. Hey, don't say that. Cheer for your team. Don't cheer against the other team. But with this group, and I see this around the park a lot, is it's just true sportsmanship. And I've even seen girls on the other team congratulate girls for making good plays, for good hits, that type of thing. It's just, with the boys, it's just more, I don't know, that high testosterone, competitive, don't even want to admit when the other team's doing something good. But with the girls, it's just different. I've seen our team bond with other teams between games and so forth, and they end up coming back cheering for the other team in the tournaments and stuff, and it's great to see. And again, I think that goes back to the social aspect that we talked about earlier. They have fun with themselves, and they have fun with other teams, and that's one of the things they look forward to when they come to these tournaments.
Thanks, Coach Jacobs and Chris. Some great information that maybe we as coaches should keep in mind. At times, we need to make adjustment for different kinds of teams, whether it be gender differences or some other type of differences. We need to have an open mind and be willing to move and change. That's going to do it for us today. We look forward to seeing you right back here next time for another great edition of Clubhouse Gas.